Hello there, my name is Pavos Termo, and now we'll unveil the top news of recent days. Ukraine is fighting for its existence as a state, nation and democracy. All this is by opposing Russian aggression, and the price is infinitely high. Ukraine emerged victorious in the critical situations of its recent history because the people and the authorities did not lose face. The Kremlin deliberately incites scandals, tries to manipulate public opinion, and does everything to facilitate the conquest of Ukraine. We need to keep our faith, resilience and unity.
Russia is still capable of doing evil. No one will be able to turn a blind eye. We have to fight. We must keep our defense as a top priority, and we must make our state stronger every day.
Ukraine's fight for survival against one of the most formidable enemies of our time will result either in survival of democracy or that of tyranny. Ukraine remains steadfast in the face of Russia's orchestrated narratives of stalemate and fatigue, exposing those deceptive tactics. The armed forces of Ukraine continue to dismantle the occupiers. Our society is resolute in its deep belief that justice will prevail and freedom will triumph. The situation on the front line is fluid. Our operations are carefully planned. Ukraine values its soldiers and does not throw them into senseless cannon fodder assaults. Events of last month underscored the importance of aircraft for modern warfare. Ukraine expects the arrival of F-16 fighter jets that would help protect its sky. To win this war of aggression, Ukraine needs more air power, much improved electronic warfare and better counter-battery capabilities, as well as new mine-breaching technologies. During the last months alone, Ukraine wrote history by striking the enemy's Black Sea fleet and forcing it to tread carefully in the temporarily occupied Crimea, let alone the Sea Azov area. For the first time in history, a country with no fleet is striking so effectively against one of the leading maritime states of the world. Among other things, we ensured the survival and success of the Grain from Ukraine initiative, instrumental for the food security of dozens of countries. Following Russia's unilateral breach of the Black Sea Grain Initiative, Ukraine overcame all odds to open its ports and humanitarian shipping and establish a new grain route for food exports. On November 21st, President of the European Council Charles Michel and President of Moldova Maia Sandu visited Kyiv. Ukraine has become a real outpost in the east of Europe, restraining the invasion of the Russian dictatorship. Michele and Sandu visit to Ukraine in conditions of war has once again shown that the allies are not intimidated by Moscow and are ready to continue investing in our victory. Like Ukrainians, Charles Michel expects a positive decision on the negotiations on Ukraine's accession to the EU during the summit in Brussels on December 14th and 15th. The European Parliament agreed to open an office in Ukraine to strengthen support for the Verkhovna Rada. The visit of Charles Michel and Maia Sandu on the 10th anniversary of the beginning of the Maidan is especially symbolic. Politicians discussed the progress we are making, and of course it is very important that the European Union fulfills its promise by making a decision for Ukraine and gives us a start to negotiation.
Our country is doing everything necessary to actually start accession negotiations. All the decisions we had to make have already been made. And now we will even adopt the decisions that were supposed to be made by spring. That is according to the schedule after the EU political decision to start negotiations. Ukraine has an absolutely clear position to implement everything and be fully prepared for the start of negotiations. Because for us it is all very concrete. Every success of our country adds confidence and motivation to our people, to all those who defend Ukraine and help us.
Ukraine has become the locomotive of European integration in the region, paving the way for Moldova and Georgia as well. On the night of November 22nd, the Air Force, together with the Air Defense of the Ground Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the National Guard, destroyed all 14 enemy Shahed drones. The Kremlin is preparing a new campaign of missile terror targeting the civilian population and infrastructure of Ukraine in the winter period. The enemy is waiting for the cold to try to make the life of Ukrainians unbearable again. Russia accumulates cruise and ballistic missiles and so far uses mostly drones to strike Ukrainian cities and villages. Western air defense systems have already saved hundreds of civilians. But the needs are much higher. Ukraine will accept additional air defense systems on any terms: sale, lease, free transfer, joint production. Ukrainians are eagerly awaiting F-16 fighter aircraft that will help protect the skies. Every major city in Ukraine should receive a deep-layered air defense system. This is an urgent matter, as before Russia is attacking Ukraine's port infrastructure, hoping to prevent the export of Ukrainian food commodity. Today, the first snow fell in Kyiv, and this means that the shutting of energy and heating infrastructure will be soon. During last winter, the colder months, the primary focus of Russia's attacks is Ukraine's energy infrastructure, crucial for supplying warmth and electricity to Ukrainian households. But at the same time, the armed forces of Ukraine are well prepared for the use of air defense systems.
Я дякую всім воїнам мобільних.
I thank all the soldiers of mobile fire groups, the aviation of our air force, and the anti-aircraft missile troops. Your accuracy, guys, is literally life for Ukraine. As winter approaches, there will be more Russian attempts to make the strikes more powerful. It is crucial for all of us in Ukraine to be 100% effective, despite all the difficulties, despite all the fatigue, despite any attempts to weaken Ukraine. Respect and glory to everyone who fights for their country, everyone who helps and works to ensure that Ukraine can defend and protect its independence.
To withstand this winter as well to quickly replace what might be destroyed, Ukraine needs equipment for decentralization and restoration of energy supply, in particular spare parts, generators, transformers, mobile heating systems. That concludes today's video. Thank you for watching and stay updated. Subscribe to our UATV English channel for more news from Ukraine. Your support is that really matters. Goodbye.